Your call on euro is based on what? Is there a danger that the ECB is actually much more hawkish than the markets are currently pricing in?
So we see the dollar as having three problems this year. The first one is if you look at asset valuations, they're basically the highest they've been in more than 50, 60 years, if you look at combined equity and fixed income valuation. So we really struggle to see who's going to be buying US assets. In fact, the basic balance has already been trending down for the dollar. Problem number two is we don't really think the Fed matters that much. This is very similar to 2004-06 when the Fed was hiking rates, rate differentials were going up, but the dollar was weakening at the same time, which brings us to problem number three. When global growth is doing well, the dollar tends to weaken because it's the world's global funding currency. You tend to see these outflows pick up from the US, and that's one of the big drivers behind our forecast for a stronger euro.
Okay, so stronger euro, but can the euro region actually sustain a stronger euro, or are we going to see an ECB trying to talk it down?
Well, if you look at what happened last year, the euro did have a very big move, but the impact on growth was fairly small. And the reason behind that is if you look at the drivers behind European growth, they increasingly seem to be domestic. The consumer is doing very well. Businesses are doing very well. So I think, yes, the answer is yes. Even if the euro does go up, the European economy should be able to sustain that.
George, what we love at Surveillance is a collegial debate. We had Elsa Lingos on of RBC Capital Markets, and she looks the other way, looking at a dampened euro and weakness. Bring up the chart, if you would, right now. And this really shows the differential down to those looking for weaker euro and Mr. Saravelos looking higher, stronger in euro. What's the ramifications for Mr. Draghi if he enjoys a 130 euro?
I'm not sure he would enjoy it very much, but the ramifications are that the ECB will continue to have to tighten very, very slowly. Indeed, that's what they did last year. So part of our thesis is that the euro will not be going up because bond yields are going up. So many people say the only way the euro can rise is if European yields rise. In fact, we're saying the opposite, that precisely because the euro will be rising, the ECB will be forced to be more dovish and the move in bond yields will be very, very orderly.